In this video, I will introduce you to the new sync point features in version 1.2 of the Scoring Tools add-on for Studio One. Sync points are extremely useful, especially for media composers and sound designers, because they allow you to set a marker at a certain point within your event and then snap this event to the beginning of a bar or new section in your song. While sync points in Studio One 6 are already pretty powerful, with the new Scoring Tools update, we have added this sync point menu, which extends Studio One with even more cool features that will save you a lot of time, because they will do some things automatically that Studio One does not allow you to do out of the box. The goal of this menu was to provide you with all the important functions for working with sync points in one view, which are set sync point to cursor, locate sync point, sync events to cursor, sync events, save sync points, and recall sync points. The first two functions are for creating and editing the sync points. For example, I have imported some swooshes and hits from Sonuscore's Cinematic Hits library. For some of them, I have already set the sync points, and with locate sync point, I can instantly jump to the sync point of my event and press play to hear if the sync point is in the right place. With the L key, you can jump to the beginning of the event, so this is the whole hit. And with locate sync point, you can hear it exactly from the sync point. And of course, you can add shortcuts for all these commands. Just go into the keyboard shortcuts window and enter Scoring Tools, and you will see all Scoring Tools commands have their own category, and here you can easily assign a shortcut, for example for locate sync point. And this shortcut even appears here in the menu as well, so you can look it up if you forgot. Our next event does not have the sync point set yet, so that's what set sync point to cursor helps us with. Now I can set my cursor manually, or I can press the tab key to search for the next transient. Yeah, perfect. That worked pretty well. So I can now set the sync point to the cursor position. By the way, the set sync point to cursor command is built into Studio One. That's not a Scoring Tools command. It's just here in the menu for easy access. Of course, all the other functions here are completely new commands developed specifically for Scoring Tools. Now let's use some of these sound effects and layer them to get an even bigger impact. So I move them to new tracks, and let's just take these 4. And now you could of course drag these events to align all the sync points, but depending on how many layers you have, it's much faster with these two functions, sync events and sync events to cursor, because these two functions will do this automatically. For now, let's use the sync event to cursor command. This will just move all the events so that their sync point will be exactly at the cursor position. So that's really quick if you just have some effect sounds where you've already set the sync points. For example, let's take this little hybrid orchestral piece. Here in this section, I need some crashes and swells for the transition. I already have them here with the sync points, and I just need to set my cursor to the start of the new section, then select my events and choose sync events to cursor. The sync events feature is even more sophisticated and lets you synchronize several events to each other. And you can choose if they will sync to the first selected event or the last selected event or the event on the selected track. The third option is useful if you want to sync to one specific event, not the first, not the last one, but one specific event. Then you just select the track that contains this event. Now this is our reference event, and now you can select Sync Events and choose the third option, and now Scoring Tools will sync all the other events to this event. This is also extremely useful if you are synchronizing audio tracks to a video. For example, let's take a look at this project where I have this video here on my video track with the audio on a sublayer. This is the audio from the camera, and here on this track, or it can also be multiple tracks, here I have the audio mix of the concert. Without the sync point functions, this would need a lot more steps to align all these events, like splitting or trimming the start to the transients, then set the cursor, move the events, and reset the endpoint again. The sync point commands make this so much easier. Here I have already found the right sync points for both events, and now I want to sync the audio events to the video. So what I can do now is select all the events, then select my video subtrack and choose Sync Events with the third option. And this will sync all the events to the video event. So depending on your current task, you will either use Sync Events to Cursor or Sync Events with one of the custom options. And of course, if you want to sync an event to a marker on your marker track, of course that's possible as well. Just again select all the events, then hold the Shift key to select the marker and make sure the marker track is selected. And now run Sync Events and have all the events synced to the marker. And here's another tip which also works for Studio One 5 users that don't have the sync points feature. The Sync Events and Sync Events to Cursor commands work not only with events that have a sync point set, but you can also just use them to bring all selected events to the same position. So if you have some events in your song and you want them all to start at the same position, then you can just select them, choose Sync Events to Cursor, and this will move each event individually. For the last two commands, which are another main feature of Scoring Tools 1.2, we will take a look in the next chapter of the video manual. If you want to learn more about the Scoring Tools add-on for Studio One, make sure to visit the product page, which is linked in the description or in the info box. Thanks for watching.